Good morning, everyone. Stripeka. We are playing some more Pokemon Odyssey. This is a ROM hack of Pokemon Fire Red inspired by Etrian Odyssey and Maiden Abyss. We are on the 7th Stratum. About ready to head into the Porcelain Lab. I think there's going to be some conversations to start with. I'm going to do a quick pause here to show off our team. A lot of faces that we haven't used as much recently. The captain, the boss fight here, is Aether Poison as their types. So very odd setup here. I think this team should be able to handle their team, but I assume that we've got about half of the Stratum left first. Okay. Not getting dragged into a cutscene. What is it, Cassian? Don't tell me you're still sad because Mathilda stopped talking to you. So what? You're not a therapist, you're just a chef. Just a chef? Do you even know why I'm here in the first place? As if you had some crazy backstory. I came from an extremely poor region where people starve to death. The harsh climate makes it impossible for us to grow enough food to survive. I chose to brave the labyrinth because it's the only place on this planet where I can test the crop's resilience across different climates. So don't you dare underestimate my goal. Got it? Got it. I'm sorry. Speak louder, I can't hear you. How? See, it's not that hard. Hey, Mathilda, I've been meaning to ask you, why do you hold such a grudge against Cassian? Not that you really need a reason, but... that idiot. We made it to the finals in the Tag Team World Tournament. You know what he did? He let himself get played by our opponents, all because they promised him a kiss. A freaking kiss from some random chick. Like that was more important than our victory. You serious right now? Yeah. Hold up, how the heck did you manage to... Took down Cassian first, then wiped the floor with the other two, duh. Wait, you mean tell me you won a 1-on-3 battle? Yep. Well, ain't you one hell of a badass? Of course. You think you can take down Mathilda the Unbreakable that easily? Here we are. Now we just have to... What? You idiot. Do you have any idea what you've just done? Is that Brody? You had one job and you failed miserably. How is this even possible? My deepest apology. Vanish from my sight before I turn your large intestine into a plate of spaghetti. I didn't sign up for this. Anyway, you must be the blessed child Manu told me about. Blessed child? What are you talking about? I'm talking about your healing abilities, of course. I want to know everything about them. How do they work? What's the principle behind them? Can they heal every disease? Sorry to interrupt, but we're in a hurry and... Oh, I'm in a hurry too, you know. We need you in perfect shape for what's ahead. And to do that, Ethan needs to improve his healing abilities, and Nyx, you need to learn how to switch to your abyssal form. How? Who do you think I am? So you already know everything. Yeah, more or less. It's hard for me to believe certain things, but after hearing Manu and Darius' stories... Oh, you've met my father. Where is he? He went to the Porcelain Temple with Rocky. Said they needed to prepare for some sort of ritual. Speaking of which, Nyx, would you be so kind as to pick some amaranthos flowers? Although toxic to humans, it appears to have invigorating properties for the abyssals, at least according to your father. Darius wants you to drink a concoction made from that flower, and it would be ready by now. If someone hadn't broken the test tube. I said I'd be sorry. Shush. Gutrune? Oh, whoopsie. In any case, you can find the flower in the porcelain cave. There we go. In the meantime, I'll try to help Ethan understand his powers. Maybe a doctor of my caliber could lend you a hand. Hope so. Nix, can I come with you? Yeah, sure. Is everything all right? Affirmative. I have to take care of some things. Don't worry about me. You say so. Okay, and then we've got... How are we doing on these? 30, 12... Repels, 99, yeah. I already bought stuff. Who would have ever imagined that deep within the labyrinth lay a primordial horror? You don't seem all that surprised, Professor Rennick. Well, there's a reason for that, but I don't want... Of course it doesn't surprise us anymore. We're used to it. Did you know that Professor Rennick has traveled through time? He even prevented a natural disaster. Then there was that time when... Annette? What? No more. Okay. Wait, did you just say Rennick traveled through... Don't worry about it. We'll resume that conversation never. But never. Okay. So I assume... No, not this way. I must... She said the cave was right behind it, the lab. Wait, what? Is it actually still out the back and then to the right? Okay. Olympia, is everything okay? You seem pretty down. There's a massive steely nearby. Objective, follow me. Getting some weird double inputs again. So I apologize if I'm running into things. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with my controller. And sometimes it seems like it works fine. And then sometimes I'd run into a wall like 3 times. What is this place? This is where my companions rest for eternity. I want to see them one last time before the final battle. I can introduce you to them if you'd like. If they are important to you, then yes, I'd like to meet them. Follow me. This is Artemis, as sweet as she is deadly with a shot. She rode her loyal Stantler and never missed a mark. She's the one who taught me that Pokemon could be our friends. Without her, I'd never met Maiwa. Line up your shot carefully. Just your shooting angle, 10 degrees upward. Query, like this. That's perfect. Now shoot. I'll give it 7 points out of 10. Still room for improvement. Thanks. Executed. Apollo, Artemis's brother. He cared more about his appearance than training, but when it came to a fight, he never hesitated. Every now and then, I can still hear him boast about his beauty. La-di-da. La-la-la. Query started. What are you doing? Oh, is that you, Olympia? Behold, I'm making myself look magnificent. Beauty and self-maintenance, irrelevant. Primary objective, eliminate the abyssals. Oh, my dear Olympia, how pitiful. You seriously need to find yourself a hobby. Otherwise, what will you do once the war is over? What purpose will our existence serve? Don't you have something you'd like to do? Something I'd like to do. Maybe I should have listened to you. Hestia, carefree yet always aware of the warmth she brings to others. She was like a big sister to me. She taught me the true meaning of friendship and family. Olympia, there you are. I've got something I need to show you. What is the situation, Hestia? Are the abyssals initiating an attack? No, nothing like that, you silly. Just look what I found outside the city. A whooper? That's right. It was all alone and terrified, so I decided to bring it here, but you can't tell anyone, okay? Can I trust you, my dear friend? Definition query. What is the meaning of the word friend? A friend is someone you can count on, who respects you and stands by you, who shares your laughter and offers comfort when you're feeling down. Are we classified as friends? Of course, Olympia. Why else would I have shared this secret with you? Understood. Thank you for providing clarification on the meaning of this word. You're welcome. Nothing will bring her back. Hermes. He had a deep love for reading books from the surface. More than anything, he longed to visit the places brought to life in those stories he cherished. I will never fall savage again. This sword I denounce and forsake. I plead for forgiveness, for I was but a fool. So saying, the young man hurled the sword to the ground, snapping it. Seeing this, the Pokémon disappeared to a place beyond sea. Hermes, what text are you processing? Oh, this? It's a tale of a swordsman who regrets his actions after encountering a Pokémon. It's truly captivating. You should check it out. What is the functional objective of consuming textual data? There's no specific reason. I do it purely for my own enjoyment. However, sometimes escaping reality is the only way to silence the thoughts that hurt you. It's wise never to underestimate the pain we carry. Enjoyment. Pain? Please define the parameters of these words. How about I explain it to you through a story? Let's dive into this book together. Now I understand their meaning, Hermes. Here lies Demeter. She loved nurturing plants even though she couldn't eat their fruits. She was a mother figure to all of us. You must be more careful in battle, Olympia. I couldn't bear it if something ever happened to you. Demeter, why do you allocate concern for me? Isn't it obvious? I don't want to lose you, my dear. I would feel as though my own daughter were being taken away from me. Daughter? Logical inconsistency detected. No biological relation established. Love is more than just blood ties, Olympia. I'm sure one day you'll understand. Mother. Hephaestus, blacksmith of the sacred tree. He took care of our maintenance, always making sure everything was in perfect working order. I believe it was his way of showing us how much he cared. And that should do it. Everything's in order, Olympia. You're good to go. Scanning. No detectable upgrades to my assigned weaponry. Query. Do you possess any equipment optimized for combat against the abyssals? Oh, what you already have is more than sufficient. I'd rather focus on enhancing your defensive capabilities. This conflict will persist until the abyssals are eliminated. Request provide equipment to optimize efficiency in their eradication. Absolutely not. I've had enough of the bloodshed caused by my own creations. Query. If not through combat, what is your intended method for terminating this conflict? Through diplomacy. War can be fought with words as much as weapons. Who knows? Maybe one day an abyssal will see the futility of the conflict and choose to stand by our side. If only reality were that kind. You were right. An abyssal had finally chosen to side with us. If only you were here to see it for yourself. Dionysus. Among us all, he was the fiercest opponent of the war. He was convinced that dances, songs, and feasts would mend any conflict. He was quite the character. Dance, sing, and drink your fill. The greatest feast is yours, young Yggdrasil. Revel in it while it lasts. Aho! Query, what is the purpose of this celebration? Oh, young Olympia, does there need to be a reason? Come now, let loose and dance with the others. Statement, celebration is illogical. The war remains unresolved. Then rejoice! You're still here, still standing. If that's not worth celebrating, what is? Query, should I execute a celebration protocol for my own existence? But of course, life is a fleeting gift. Cherish it, indulge in it, make it your own. You won't get another. The gift of life, you say. But can I truly claim to be alive? How many of these are there? Here lies Aphrodite, the most beautiful of the Yggdrasids. She moved with a grace and spoke with a voice as soothing as a lullaby. You couldn't help but notice her every time she passed by. Oh dear, Olympia, you're as clumsy as ever. You really must take better care of yourself, sweetheart. Designation sweetheart is inaccurate. This unit possesses no heart. Additionally, self-maintenance lacks a defined purpose. Oh, Olympia, self-love is so important. If you don't treasure yourself, how can you ever share your heart with others? Query, what is the purpose of sharing my heart with others? Oh dear, that's just what living beings do. Embracing yourself and sharing your heart with others keeps loneliness far, far away. Assessing query, is solitude an undesirable state? Gee, oh Olympia, it truly is. But listen, even if one day you find yourself all alone, as long as you don't lose yourself, you'll always find the strength to keep going. Never forget that. Sharing my heart, you say. You know, you were right. Poseidon, the Yggdrasil capable of gliding across water, his movements were as fluid as the waves themselves. Among us, he was the fastest both in mind and body. Soya, Chesto, Doya! Phew, that's enough for today. Confirming activity. Are you currently undergoing a training routine? Yeah, you've been watching me this whole time, haven't you? Anyway, something on your mind? Affirmative. Inquiry. How have you developed additional attack protocols against the Abyssals? Well, not exactly. I've been focusing on maximizing my speed, just in case I need to rush in and help one of you when the time comes. Query. What is the purpose of this action? Isn't it obvious? Olympia, let me ask you something important. If you had to choose between saving someone you cherish or striking down your greatest enemy, which path would you take? Processing. Error. Unable to determine a definitive answer. Precisely. There's no way of knowing what the right answer is until the choice is upon you. When that moment comes, you'll have to act without hesitation. If only I had made a choice back then. Maybe you would all still be here. Just like one or two more. Ares, relentless, unstoppable, a force of sheer destruction. On the battlefield, he showed no mercy, not even to himself. 45, 46, 47. Query. Specific activity you are currently performing, Ares? I am keeping track of the fallen. 48, 49, 50. Purpose of this action, unknown. Requesting clarification. I count the lives I've taken in each battle, hoping the numbers will somehow justify the purpose of our mission. I no longer feel any remorse. I've become nothing but an empty shell, a mere instrument only capable of following orders. I have no choice but to continue with this massacre. I am unable to process the reasoning behind this emotional state. War is a simple thing, Olympia. What comes after? That is hard. Perhaps one day you'll understand. Zeus, why are you here? I thought your duty was to protect King Ramon. King Ramon doth prepare the ritual of succession with King Darius at the end of the 7th stratum. I've come hither to pay my respects to our fallen comrades. Dost thou not think the duty is the same? It is thy duty to do the same, Athena? Do not dare utter that name. Why wouldst thou not? After all, 'tis the name thou wert given at creation. Athena, the 13th Yggdrasil, embodiment of triumph. I despise that name more than anything in the world. Don't ever call me that again. Ah yes, I'd forgotten that it was Prince Ethan who bestowed that name upon thee. Well, well, little prince, looks like the king wants you to have your own bodyguard. Lucky you. Now come on, I've got someone special for you to meet. Greetings, Prince Ethan. Designation Athena. Assigned role, Royal Guard. The pleasure is mine. You know, that name sounds too serious for you. You should have a more friendly name instead. Let's see. How about Olympia? Name accepted. Appreciation executed. Ethan. When wilt thou cease this futile game of illusion, pretending to be human? Thou art our ultimate weapon. Act as such. Enough. Olympia is not a weapon. She's my friend. I won't let you talk to her like that, you arrogant blowhard. Mind thy tongue, abyssal princess. 'Twould take but a fleeting moment to cast thee into oblivion. Then do it. What are you waiting for? Thou impudent wretch. Enough, Zeus. You are well aware that the king has commanded you to protect her. Or do you dare defy his orders, huh? What would Hera think of your behavior, Zeus? What would Hera think of me, thou askest? Very well, that's enough. It's time I take my leave. I must return unto the king. Yet know this, Athena, this discourse is far from finished. And as for thee, abyssal princess, I would counsel thee to temper thine arrogance. Farewell. Olympia, are you all right? I am now, Nyx. Thank you for standing up for me. Come on. Like I was just gonna stand there and let him talk about you like that. Listen, Olympia. You are not some soulless weapon. No one gets to define you. Only you do. How ironic. Those are the very same words Hera once spoke to me. Hera, she was Zeus's right hand, his second in command, the one who he cherished above all. She's the one who saved my life. Olympia, report the situation now. Target eliminated. Good. How many of us are left? Olympia, that's an order. Tell me how many of us are still standing. Only 2. Insufficient energy reserves detected. Survival probability approaching 0. At commanding unit, you will receive my remaining power allocation. Thank you, Olympia. Your sacrifice will not be forgotten. Error. Energy transfer rejected by receiving unit. Zeus will likely despise me for what I'm about to do, but I am certain of one thing. Your survival takes precedence above all else. Thus, I shall be the one to share my energy. You carry within you the potential far beyond what any of us possess. Something extraordinary. And Olympia, let go of this guilt. The ambush was not your fault. Anyone with a heart would have hesitated to strike down an abyssal child. Even I would have. He was not our enemy, merely an innocent caught in a cruel game beyond his control. Now listen to me carefully. You are not some soulless weapon. No one gets to define you. Only you do. So enjoy the rest of your life. And protect Prince Ethan at all costs. I'm sorry, Olympia. The past cannot be changed. Sooner or later, I must learn to accept it. Nyx, let's make sure no one else has to suffer because of this war ever again. You bet. That flower on Hera's grave. An amaranthos flower. Do you think this is Zeus's doing? It's highly likely. Come on, let's head back to Gutrune. She's probably wondering why we're taking so long. Yeah, you're right. Oh, and before we go, thank you for being there for me. Don't mention it. You know, I'll always be here for you. It's so nice to have friends. So, this was are really... I'm glad we got some additional development on Olympia. But at the same time, I do feel like that whole... I don't want to say I feel like it was unnecessary, because I did just say I'm glad we got more backstory or more development. But in doing so, I feel like they've muddied their own lore a bit. I don't love the blending of various mythologies and references here. Just as a starting point. It's fine, it's not that big of a deal, but it isn't my favorite thing. I'm also... I think the biggest thing to me is I don't love... The whole point is Olympia is supposed to be a Yggdrasil, a robot, and that's why she talks the way she does. She struggles with certain things like emotions. So the idea that there was a whole series of Yggdroids and a lot of them had developed emotions and stuff and understood humanity is really off-putting to me. It feels inconsistent. It makes it seem like it makes it seem like Olympia's interactions are less consistent. I also just feel like there were too many of them. They could have gotten the point across with 3 or 4 instead of walking through 11 of these cutscenes. It's cool. The sprite designs are cool. I would not mind at all if there was a whole if they did a game based on that. Like, those would make good gym leaders. But I did feel like it was unnecessary. Or excessive. Oh, you found an amaranthos flower. Good. Let's get to work. There we go. That should do the trick. Now we just have to wait for the mixture to get ready. You know the perfect way to pass the time? That would be a battle, of course. Meet me behind the lab. I want to see just how strong you are. Oh, right, Olympia, could you keep an eye on Ethan while he studies? I'd rather not have him getting distracted. Much appreciated. Nix, I'll be waiting for you. Go all out. Let's just see how far an abyssal princess can truly go. Let the battle begin. The captain theme just goes so hard. Okay. I didn't factor in the intimidate. Well, I guess we'll see what happens. Sucker Punch did still succeed. Arbok only has attacking moves, So there was no chance that Sucker Punch wouldn't land. And it was a guaranteed OHKO. Espeon, Ian, should outspeed. One-shot Gallade. Okay. Absol. I'm hoping perfect. Interesting. So we could switch out, but I don't think Dark Poison. Yeah. We'll Sucker Punch back just to do a little bit of damage. Sack Sunshine to get a switch in on Crucible. I don't think that's gonna kill, yeah. But we've got Light Screen up at this point. Now we hope. Perfect. They're attacking into Ian for some reason. I feel like we just bring Gore-Tex in. And we hope this doesn't kill. That's why we had the light screen. Okay, we've now got speed boost. Leech Life into Absol. Crucible should just win from here. I just realized that my characters were also not at level 70. That was a little riskier. A few of those moves were a little riskier than I thought. But honestly, that feels even better. Like, I feel like I planned this really well, which I'm always okay with. So, Typhlosion and Starmie were potential candidates for the same position as Espeon and Ninjask. Starmie would have been an alternate if something happened to Espeon, and Typhlosion would have been cleanup. I knew you were strong, but this is beyond what I expected. And you're no slouch either. You give me quite the challenge. That was quite the battle. Now let's take care of your Pokemon. Ah, right. I believe the concoction should be ready by now. I'll be waiting for you in the lab. Alright, just one last check and... done! You did a bang-up job, matey. But of course. And this time, I will be the one handling the vial. Well then, next, cheers. The color isn't exactly reassuring. Let's hope the taste makes up for it. Don't worry, it's strawberry flavored. Oh, that's definitely a good thing. Cheers, I guess? So? Blech. Nix, what's wrong? You lied to me. You said it was strawberry flavored. Whoops. I may have bent the truth just a little. Anyway, Nix, how are you feeling? I guess I'm fine. I don't really feel any different. Oh, fantastic. That means the potion worked. Otherwise, you'd be writhing in agony about now. Excuse me? Oh, come on. It worked in the end, didn't it? That's all that matters. That said, Brody, rally the other captains. The preparations are done. It's time to go to the Porcelain Temple. Aye, aye, Captain. We're split into two groups. One made of the 5 of us, the other led by the captains, remaining captains with Rennick and Annette. Come on, there's not a moment to waste. How much longer is this going to take? Hurry up. I'm nearly there, my lord. Breaking into the girl's mind is proving more difficult than anticipated. There. No, not yet. Well, well, if it isn't Amy. Basil, how could you? How could I? What exactly? I've done nothing wrong, dearest Amy. Nothing at all. I merely spread rumors about a labyrinth brimming with treasures, convinced a wealthy explorer to mount an expedition to find it, got him to establish a guild, pretended to be an orphan to fall under his wing, only to be adopted, climb the ranks, and ultimately secure the highest position. All of this was part of my plan to find a safe passage leading to the very depths of the labyrinth. It took me 50 years to put this plan into motion. In the end, every moment was worth it. You what? You've been excellent puppets, I must admit. Not to mention, I simply let Frey handle the dirty work so no one would suspect me. And now there's only one thing left on the list. My dear brother will likely hate me for what I'm about to do. But such is the way things must go. It's a pity to utterly crush the spirits of his own daughter. Your brother? What are you... Oh God, that symbol on your forehead. It can't be... Farewell, my dear niece. My lord, how do you feel? Never been better. Finally, that puppet is gone for good. Glad to hear it. What's our next move? I know exactly where the Yggdrasil scum is hiding. How about we pay them a visit? With pleasure, my lord. Okay. And with that, I feel like this is probably a good stopping spot. We'll head next time into the Porcelain Palace, and we are like very close to endgame. I don't know how long each of the next sections are, but there appear to be 4 more bosses, and I believe we should be at the max level cap for the main game. There is some post-game content. I think we'll probably go ahead and try that as well once we finish. But yeah, I don't know how long the area is that we still have left. yeah, it'll be interesting. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, please give me a like and subscribe. Check out the other content on my channel. If you have any questions or suggestions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, have a good one. We'll catch you next time.